Okay, suppose I offer you the following bet. You put up $10, I put up $10. I toss a coin and you call heads or tails. If you win the toss, you take the entire stake of $20. Otherwise, you lose 10. Would you accept or decline this bet? Okay, suppose I change it a bit. What if I put up $15 for your $10? Would you then accept the bet? Well, actually, this is a pretty good proposition. Mathematically, you've got an expected profit of $2.50 on each toss of the coin. That's a return of 25%. This is a huge return. A stock that had this kind of return in such a short period would eagerly be taken up by any trader. Now, I don't want to encourage gambling, so I should point out that there are no games at the casino that have such returns. However, according to the mathematics, if you played this game again and again, the chances are that you would quickly become very rich. However, a large proportion of people, when offered this kind of bet, would not be willing to accept it. For them, the risk doesn't seem worth it, even though the mathematics says it should reap a large reward. So suppose we change the bet a bit again. Instead of $10, suppose you had to put up $1 million, and I put up $1.5 million and $1.5 million. You would be betting a very large sum of money on the toss of one coin. So, on the one hand, you stand to gain a very large amount of money, but on the other hand, you could lose everything or go into crippling debt forever. This certainly seems like a bad bet, even though the mathematics is the same. The psychological response to risk has been heavily researched, and different people have different approaches to it, for different reasons and under different circumstances. Some people will be attracted to large risks in the hope of making a large gain. Actually, what we find is that people tend to take large risks mostly in the hope of avoiding large losses. These people who accept large risks are called risk-seeking. Businesses will tend to view information security as an expense, and risk-seeking businesses will view it as an expense which competes with their ability to grow. They will not be willing to spend a lot of money on information security. These companies are risk-seeking. On the other hand, there are people who are what we call risk-averse. They want to protect themselves from all risks, even very small ones. Some businesses are very intolerant of risk. A company that's risk-averse will place a greater emphasis on information security and will generally be willing to spend more money on it. So, every business will have its own level of tolerance to information security risk. Every business will have its own risk appetite. Information security does not dictate risk appetite. Information security does not dictate that such and such a risk must be countered with a control. It's not information security's task to produce a mathematically optimal approach to security. It's their task to align with the risk appetite of the business, whether that be risk-seeking or risk-averse. Now, one last important point. The information security function needs to report as objectively as possible on the risks inherent in any security plan. These risks that remain are called residual risk, and by documenting residual risk, the information security function keeps management aware of the risks which remain. It would be foolish to think that there is such a thing as 100% security, and it would be wrong to promise it. So remember, it's important to properly document residual risk. Thank you, and happy hacking.